So I think I'm on live. I hope people can hear me and all that. So anyway, I'm sorry about yesterday, guys. I was just so caught up with this dramatic event that has taken place in my life recently. Um, I'm dealing with unfortunately my spouse that's in the hospital. He's very ill, so I couldn't make it yesterday to do the marriage show. So hopefully things will work out good today. But give me a few moments. Anyway, hopefully I can. Hopefully the sound is okay. I'm not even sure. Let me see something real quick. Few seconds. So I'm not talking in vain. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about marriage. Kind of wanted to get some people involved so they can put their 2 cents to it. But hopefully, if somebody joins in, you can always hang out with me on Google Hangout. I can send you that link and all that and all that. You can get on the mic with me. We can talk about some things in regards to marriage. So, guys, I want to share some things with you that I found out in astrology. Okay, I think it's very, very important for those who are married right now, looking to get a divorce, unfortunately, or you're just looking to get married to the love of your life, and you're like, you know what, before I sign my name on the dotted line, I want to make sure everything's going to be on the up and up. So from what I've discovered, guys, it's very, very important to find out if the person that you're going to marry is going to be a match for you. You know why? Because like the old saying goes, in the beginning, okay, in the beginning of everything, in the beginning of life, when you're born, in the beginning of the relationship, and the beginning of a marriage, in the beginning, it's all good. Okay. And 99.9% of the time, when most couples enter a so called marriage, they enter it with dreams and they enter it with goals and they enter it with things that they want to accomplish as a team when they form a union. But unfortunately, as you know, life, it throws those curveballs, and sometimes things arise and we're dealing with unfortunate events. um we may deal with situations that are financially debilitating, and then you're going to be dealing with a situation where the person that you was with in the beginning, they're a different person after you marry them for some reason, and then all of a sudden you see that ego comes out and it comes into play, and then you're finding yourself in a relationship, sometimes feeling like you're snugged, you're feeling restricted, you feel like you're locked down, you're trapped because of this piece of paper, you know what I mean, that you guys signed. And for whatever reason, after you walk down the aisle, things feel different. Okay. And I feel that, a lot of relationships don't last, unfortunately, and they don't stand the test of time is because people, they don't and they don't take the time to investigate their partners, okay, like they do everything else. Okay, everything else gets investigated, but for whatever reason, we take people on face value and we form these contracts with these people, and then after we walk down the aisle, we put a ring on it, we sign our, we take a blood oath, we do all these things, we introduce the family, we have children, all of a sudden there's a problem. So, I believe that what a person shows you on the outside and what they tell you is things that they want you to know. Okay. And then you become blinded by love, sex, and money. And then only when it's too late, okay, you find yourself in this marital contract that was so easy to get in the beginning. Okay. But for whatever reason, the love in the beginning was so strong that you thought it was going to last forever and you was going to have like this happily ever after lifestyle. And then you're finding yourself dealing with a situation where it's hard as hell to get out of it. So I just wanted to do this show because I was talking to my father. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so I was talking to my father, okay, and my father suggested that he thinks, and I agree with him wholeheartedly, that he thinks that it would be a great idea if marriage was like getting a driver's license. You know, like how you have to renew your driver's license like every 5 or more years. And according to how well you drive and maintain yourself on the road will determine if you get to renew your license or if gain points to the point where if you do, get another insurance, you're going to have to pay out the ass. So my father suggested that he believes that they should implement a law that will allow people to have a choice after the term of a marriage to walk away with no strings attached. Basically, he said that he believes that marriages should have a lifespan in the beginning for about 5 years. Okay. And they should implement a law that will allow people to have a choice after that term if they want to renew their marriage or not. I agree with him because I believe that if marriages were like driver's license where you have to renew, the license, I believe that people would be more respectful towards their partner. People would take the relationship more seriously. People will make wiser decisions and choices if they find themselves getting to the point where the contract is about to end. And if they weren't the person that they were in the beginning, guess what? We're not going to renew this license, and you can go your way, and I can go mine, and we can wash our hands of this. So anyway, I think some people are in the chat. Hey guys, hey Huey, hey Sarah. Um, Yeah, Sarah, thank you guys. Matteo, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully, guys, if you want to join me on Google Hangout, I don't know how to go about sending the link, but please, by all means, I want to have a conversation about this because there were some things that I have found in astrology that I think will be helpful for those who are interested in the science and also interested in getting, I guess, married to their significant lover, and before you tie the knot, there's probably some things that you want to discover now and not later about your partner. Because if you found out later and you guys are not matching up and you're disagreeing, then you're finding yourself walking into divorce court and you're dealing with a situation that's going to be heavy and hard to get out of it. And like I said, in the beginning, it's easy to get in, but it's hard as hell to get out. It's like going to jail. Like it's easy as hell to go and get locked up, but when it's time to get out, there's no way to get out because you're stuck now. You're at the mercy of these people, and only if you would have known what would have happened, then maybe you would have made a different decision. Maybe you would have just been a little bit more calmer before jumping into the water with sharks, only to get bit, and now you're dealing with a situation. So anyway, going back, I believe that they should implement a law that will allow people to have a choice after the term to walk away with no strings attached. And like I said, whatever you come into the marriage with is what you should leave with. And like I said, my father, along with myself and many others that I've brought this conversation up to, agree that if people sign a contract that has, a lifespan to it, for whatever reason, I believe that people will appreciate and respect their partners better. You know what I mean? And you're not dealing with a marriage that is toxic and is abusive. And you find that you can't really get out of it because you signed like this spiritual contract with somebody that deems you to be with this person through good and bad. You know what I mean? Like, what is considered bad anyway? We all know what good is, but what level of bad is considered bad and not disrespectful to the point where you find yourself married to this person who is totally different than the person that you met in the beginning. You know what I mean? Because when you get with people in the beginning, they tend to put their best foot forward, And when they feel that they got you where they want you, or they get you trapped up in this contract or relationship, they tend to show you a different side of them. That's an ugly side. That's the side that they kept hidden. Um, and just like, a certain situation, like if you find yourself in a medical situation where you're at the mercy of somebody else. So anyway, I'm gonna go over a little bit of information in astrology that I found, and I think that if you're interested in the science, it's not set in stone. It's something for you to piggyback off of. That you definitely want to look into these things if you find that you're ready to be in a commitment with someone. So anyway, let me just check the chat real quick, see if anybody's talking. Oh yeah, Sarah. My dad, when he brought that up, I was like, you know what? That is the bomb diggity squid. Do you believe some people are never meant to be married? Yes, Huey, I do believe, especially after doing this astrology stuff, I've seen that there's certain aspects in the chart where people say that they want to get married, and I think that they want to get married because society says that it's the proper thing to do. More realistically, it looks good on paper, it looks good in society, it looks good when you're dealing with a situation where somebody is going to be a presenter of you. It looks good, but inside, that's not what they want. Okay, and it's clear as day when you look at somebody's astrology chart and you look at certain aspects like Venus. I'll get into that. Mars, Saturn, and then these different houses in astrology. That says something different. Okay, and their actions, it speaks louder than their words, because they say they want to get married. Okay, in the beginning they're saying that they love you and they want to drink your dirty bath water, all of that they say they want, but then, when everything is said and done, now they want something different, because spiritually that's not who they are. That's not what they came on this planet to do. Okay, they didn't come here to get married and have children and live happily ever after. No, because they're the type of person that likes to explore, they like to travel, they like to meet different people, they don't want to feel trapped in a relationship. So I don't believe that everybody is fit to be married, but I believe that people, unfortunately, they feel pressured by family and society, to get married. And if they're not married, they're looked down upon, and they're not accepted. They're not respected like somebody else who's married. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think that everybody's meant to get married. Huey. Yeah, so Sarah was saying, I never knew what abuse really was. I only knew physical. Yeah, Sarah, I was naive to that point too, where I thought that abuse was only physical and emotional, but I never knew that abuse could be spiritual until after I went through what I went through recently. And that's when I discovered there's different aspects of abuse. And unfortunately, the government and society and people, like your friends and family, sometimes they don't understand different levels of abuse. All they know is physical, what they can see, but what they can't see, it's hard for them to understand. And they think that you're exaggerating, they're not taking you seriously until, unfortunately, something happens physically, and then you're in jail, you're hurt, you're dead. There's a lot of people that's gotten injured. You're financially losing every time you turn around. That's when people take heed, but they don't take heed when you're dying inside spiritually, because you're dealing with somebody who's emotionally abusive, or they're doing stuff sneakily that nobody can see. Only you know what's going on. And then when you dig deep into astrology, this is why I love this stuff. I'm kind of addicted to it at this point, is because you get to look deep inside of a person's chart, and the things that they're not telling you, you can see it, by going, through their chart with a fine-tooth comb. And then you realize, this person has a lot of baggage and things that they want to introduce into your life, and only when it's too late, or you're trapped up in this marriage, this contract with this person, that's when things come out. And then people can find themselves easily in divorce court because once again, they jumped in head first and they never had a fighting chance from the beginning astrologically that they weren't a match, okay? And it was all lust and fantasy in the beginning. And we all went through that. We all continue to go through that lust and that fantasy and those sexy feelings that we have when we first meet somebody. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, what I want to talk to you guys real quick, let me just check the chat, see if anybody has any other questions. Yeah, so Sarah, so my family has no idea. Society is starting to get an idea. Yeah, society is starting to get an idea. And then you also said I looked for the first time into his chart last night and holy crap. So Sarah, exactly what part of his chart did you look at that, you know, that kind of like puzzled you or frazzled you while looking at his chart, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, I'll just wait for you to respond. But while I'm waiting for your response, I want to share this with you guys. First of all, if you feel like you're about to walk down that aisle, okay, on the red carpet, okay, and you're about to stand in front of that pastor, that preacher, whoever, the witness, and marry this person, for the love of God, please do your best. Take some time out on your break whenever you get the chance. If you can get a hold of their chart by easily asking them for their birthday, that's the best way to look at it. I mean, just look at their driver's license, get their birthday, and you enter it into Google. I think all you need is like their month, their day, and their year. You can enter that into Google, press enter, or you can just enter their information into Google, and then also after that, just type in horoscope, press enter, and then you should see a link come up where I don't remember the website off the top of my head right now, but there's a website that you can look, and then if you go down without even knowing the time that they were born, you can see the aspects that they have in their chart. Um, and then you can definitely go from there. And once again, the stuff that they say out their mouth is usually not matching up to the stuff that you'll see in the chart. Okay, so yeah, so Sarah, you said my only knowledge is birth number, but it said he was impulsive. He hides behind who he is. Yeah, unfortunately, and it's sad because we're in a society today where that's all that people seems like they're doing is hiding behind this fake persona, this fake image of themselves. And then, you're finding this person is not who they was or who they portrayed themselves to be. Unfortunately, sometimes after 5 years, even knowing this person, you know what I mean? Like, even with my spouse, unfortunately, you know, I've been with this dude for like a long, long time. And only until where we're at right now, I discovered who he was and what he was about. And it took me such a long time to find out who he was. And it's like, I'm with this dude like every day. I'm thinking that he's telling me everything. I mean, I'm seeing everything that he's doing, but there was another side of him. So that's the unfortunate part. Sarah, if you don't mind me asking, what's his birth number or what's his life path number? Hey, Treasure. So, Treasure says marriage is something just like life. We enter and explore. Everything is faith and hope going into. We learn as we delve in. Yes. Unfortunately, marriage is just like life. And life, it comes with surprises. And I forgot who the more Forrest Gump, I think he said life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah, that's how marriage is. But unfortunately, if you're married to somebody who has a box full of what you think is chocolate, it's nothing but a bunch of bullshit in there, then unfortunately you're dealing with a situation where you want to get out and then you're scared to get out because, if you're a man in some instances and you have a lot of money and the woman that you marry doesn't have shit and then you want to get out, you're probably going to have to pay her to get out of the toxic relationship. So then you find yourself stuck in this marriage that is killing you inside, and it's killing you to the point where it's going to physically run off on your body, and then before you know it, you're gone, and you're definitely going to lose in that instance. Sarah said, I read a simple overview and don't have much knowledge. Oh, it said he uses his body, large body stature, to plow through others to get what he wants. Treasure, it says sometimes people get married for security reasons. Society encourages to trade ourselves in a contractual way. Yeah, Treasure, you know what? I'm probably going to be scorned for saying this, but the way I look at marriage, Treasure, on the real tarot, I mean, if I were to get married again, I'm sorry to say, but it would be for financial reasons. I know that's super fucked up to say, but hey, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I mean, if you're gonna go into a contract, at least go into it with trying to gain something out of it, because unless the person really and truly loves you the way that they say they loved you in the beginning, sometimes that love can wear out, especially if somebody new comes along or if they have that Jezebel spirit inside of them that they've tried to suppress through the marriage. And then all of a sudden, something comes out, and then they're lusting and they're in love with somebody else while they're in the marriage. You can lose on both ends. You can lose financially, spiritually, and in all kinds of ways. So, hey, if you're a woman and you meet a king and he has a lot of money, go for it. Yeah, so let me go back to what I was saying, guys. So real quick, yeah, so when you first meet people in the beginning, most of the time you meet their ascendant sign, okay, which is their rising sign. So going back to what I was telling Sarah, all you need is their birthday. You just enter that in Google, and then after that, you just type in horoscope, and there should be a link that comes up where it gives you the breakdown of where the person's sun. Of course, everybody knows where their sun is, so you can ask somebody, what's your sign, and the first thing they're going to say, I'm an Aries. But most people don't know, what's where what their moon sign is in, their Mars, their Venus, Saturn. These are important planets that you want to familiarize yourself with, because this is the stuff that they hide, okay? And unfortunately, it comes out, unfortunately, when it's too late, or where you're finding yourself catching this curveball that person threw at you. And then now you're dealing with a situation where you have to abide by their ego or adjust your lifestyle, because the person that you met in the beginning is different from the person you know now after the marriage. Could you please leave the room? No, I don't want to hear. You know what? Hold on for a second. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, basically, so for example, like, let's say for example, if you meet like a Leo in the beginning, but their ascendant sign is a Capricorn. When you understand that they said that their sun sign is a Leo, but what you get to see mainly is their Capricorn ascendant. And you know it's kind of difficult to kind of explain, but most of the time when you get in a relationship with someone, you normally fall in love with their ascendant sign. And then you're falling in love with their ascendant, but then after getting to know them, you realize that you really can't stand their sun sign or the characteristics that they have in their sun sign in regards to a relationship. And then before you know it, you guys are growing distant and you're having problems with the relationship. So if you want to get married, guys, let me just read the chat real quick. Yeah. So yeah, Treasure, you were saying, yeah, I had no idea about the Jezebel spirit. Oh yeah, man, that Jezebel spirit, Lord have mercy. It's disgusting. It's very lustful and it's vindictive and it's scary and it's a killer. And you have to be careful. So Sarah, you said I think his life path number is a 9. 9 is usually a good life path number. It's usually about family and marriage. Usually great for marriage, but we have to look at the dark side of his traits. And also, it's very important if he's a life path number 9, what's your life path number? Does it match? Because you would find that life path number 9s are usually good with life path number, for example, 3, 6, 9. That energy will mesh well together. For example, if you're a life path number 2, then you would match well with life path number 2, 4, 6. It goes in that order. Okay, but that's not the only thing that's going to determine whether the relationship is good, but all of those things come into play. And if you have energies that support each other, it makes the relationship, I wouldn't say perfect, but you're definitely not going to be dealing with challenges um that extreme if you guys energetically mesh well together. Yeah, so it says my life path number is November 25th, 1973, 272, life path number 11. Yeah, so 9 and 11, I would have to look into that life path 9 and 11 and see if that meshes well together when I have some time. I still have some more videos that I have a lot of catching up to do, guys. But unfortunately, this illness that I'm dealing with is it's really scary right now. So it's like my mind is all over the place. I can't really sit down and really study these energies like I would and pump out these videos like I like because, I'm dealing with a situation that's very scary right now. Fortunately, yesterday it was unfortunate because I went to the hospital and I actually had a meeting with the chaplain at the hospital, and they gave me the breakdown of what is to come in regards to my husband's lifespan. So that's why I haven't been able to pump out these videos like I like. But you know what? Even though the stuff that I'm going through is extremely scary, I actually saw this in the chart, in my chart, and his chart a couple of months ago. So I'm kind of like not even surprised. But anyway, let me go back. So the two planets, okay, that are important to look at in regards to marriage, guys, is Jupiter and Venus. There's other planets too, but Jupiter and Venus is significant in a marriage. Okay, because Venus is the wife, it's the vehicle, it's the physical comforts of life. Okay. So it's very important, guys. Once again, if you want to get married, if you're ready to sign your name on that dotted line and take that blood oath, because there's no laws implemented right now where, I was talking about in the beginning how, if you get married, you should come with a 5-year contract. And if the person is not the person that they was in the beginning of this contract, then you guys should be able to easily get a divorce at a minimal fee, no strings attached. Whatever you came in with, you leave with, and you're done with it. So unfortunately, we haven't gotten to that place. Hopefully, they'll implement that law in the near future. And I believe that, a lot of people would be more happier and people would be more financially stable and at a better place if they're not dealing with this marriage contract that never ends until you find yourself in divorce court. So anyway, yeah, so you want to look at those two planets, Jupiter and Venus. So it's very important to look at Venus because Venus, it symbolizes the love, the passion, and the pleasure that person will have in that marriage. It also will show the nature of that person. So let's say, for instance, if this person And I'll go into it in a minute. If this person, let's say, has Venus in Aries, for example, okay, or Mars in Scorpio, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it real with you guys. I don't mean to insult. If you have these placements in your chart, it's not written in stone, guys. You know what? Basically, what we're having right now is just fun. I'm just bullshitting. I'm just entertaining you with information that you can easily find on your own. But if you have Venus in Aries or Mars in Scorpio, and I believe I did a video on both of those signs where I went into in detail about the energy that that person will hold inside if they have those signs in Aries, keeping it real, guys, this person is going to be fiery, okay? It's highly likely that you're going to be dealing with a person, you know, if they become angered, they're going to have an explosive outburst that's going to be fiery. And at times, it could be very scary. And, they can be abusive if they're not aware of their own energy. So you might be dealing with a person who, in the beginning, they was a sweetheart. They brought you flowers. They showered you with love and sex and passion. But as you continue on with that marriage and that relationship, and it ages, and you're dealing with bills and you have children and you're dealing with real life, it's no longer fantasy, guys, because that shit wears out after a while. Okay. You're going to be dealing with a person who gets angry at the littlest shit. Okay. And then you're going to find yourself scared at times if they're not in control, if they don't know themselves. Also, if they have Venus in Aries and Mars in Scorpio, know that this person is going to have a strong sexual appetite. So if you're the type of person and you don't like to have a lot of sex, don't waste this person's time, for God's sakes, and get in a marriage with somebody you're not going to sexually satisfy, because you're going to punish that person, and it's not going to be fair that in the beginning, you was dropping it and you was popping it. But after you guys sign that contract, you're no longer willing to satisfy your partner. And then now they're sitting there contemplating should they cheat on you or not, because you're no longer satisfying their sexual needs. So know that if this person, once again, has Venus or Mars in Scorpio or Venus in Aries, that they're going to probably have a temper, okay? And they're going to have a strong sexual appetite. So let me read. It says, "Can I pray for you? I sense that you are protected by wonderful souls. Your message to us is protected. I will pray for extra protection." Thank you, Sarah. Everywhere I go, I've been telling people about my story just, to relieve some of the stress. And I've had so many people pray for me. So, yes, I would greatly appreciate if you pray for me and my family, because I don't know what is to come. You know what I mean? The doctors told me yesterday that unfortunately, it could be any day, it could be any week, it could be a month, but he definitely said he doesn't see that, my partner will, it won't be years, unfortunately, because whatever. But we're not here to talk about that. So let me not put that energy out there. But thank you, Sarah, for that comment. Let me go back though. So, guys, in marriage, if you have Venus in Taurus, or if your partner has Venus in Taurus or Venus in Libra, okay, somebody's on the right. Okay, or Venus in Libra, then this person is going to be sensual. They're going to be soft. And, at times, guys, like I said, in the beginning, when you first get with folk, they're showing you their ascendant sign, and their ascendant may be in Aries, but if their Venus is in Taurus or Libra, for example, in the beginning they may have came off as an energetic person, but you find as you go on within the marriage or the relationship that you may be dealing with a person that lacks energy. Okay, and they may have issues with fatigue, or they may just want to lay around and relax all the time. And if you're an energetic person, you might find that you have a challenge within that relationship when you want to go hiking, but your lover, they want to sit down and watch TV, and then before you know it, you're arguing about the quality time you're spending together. If you have Venus in Gemini or Venus in Virgo, then know that this person, okay, loves to be mentally stimulated. So it's very important that they get with a partner who's compatible and who's willing to communicate with them mentally, not so much physically. They like that too, not like a Venus in Aries or a Mars in Scorpio where they're very physical. What turns a Venus in Gemini or a Venus in Virgo on is more mental. But you got to know that if you know anything about astrology, Venus and Virgo, that's not like the best place. Um, so if you're marrying a person with these placements, they may be interested in like science and reading and doing things that's kind of like boring or analytical, and everything is connected to the mind. Also, these people would like to talk a lot. So if you're not a talker, that may be an issue also within the relationship. And they like to deal with a lot of visualization and fantasy. So know that, again, this person with Venus in Gemini, Venus in Virgo, they like to be mentally stimulated. They like to fantasize a lot. So the person is most likely, let's say if they get with a bimbo in the beginning and they get married and they had fun with the bimbo in the beginning and they weren't as intelligent, just know that after you marry this person, that they're not going to be satisfied with the bimbo, like, the person who's not that intelligent and witty after the marriage, okay? Because they're looking for somebody who's going to be intelligent, witty, thinks on their toes, and has a strong sense of humor, okay? Hold on, guys. Unfortunately, I have a disturbance. Could you please close the door? Close the door. Thank you. Okay, so back to those disturbances. But anyway, yeah, so if you have Venus, guys, in Cancer, any Venus in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, Moon in Cancer, but definitely Venus in Cancer. No, guys, just rock with me here. Know that this person is going to need emotional satisfaction. They're not going to be like a Venus in Aries where you can leave them alone and they're going to walk out the door, they're going to head to the gym, and they're going to be satisfied. No, a Venus in Cancer person is not going to be satisfied with that. They're going to want a person who's going to consistently, show them love, give them flowers, kiss on them, hug on them, rub their feet, not have sex with them like a Venus in Aries that just wants to, 10 quickies throughout the day. This person is going to want to have emotional sex with their partner. Okay. They want to feel emotionally satisfied. So a quickie is not going to work for them. If you do that, then they're not going to feel secure in the relationship. They're going to feel like they're being used. So know if you marry somebody who has a Venus in Cancer, you're going to have to consistently throughout that marriage have to reassure your partner that you love them. So not only are you going to have to show them that you love them, but you're going to have to constantly say it verbally. I love you. You're going to send texts and tell them how much you love them. Okay. So being faithful is important if you marry somebody with a Venus in Cancer. Okay, if you might get away with being a cheater with a Venus in Aries because they're gonna get you back if you do that to them. If you have Venus in Aries, you cheat on them. No, you're gonna get cheated back on. A Venus in Cancer, they're probably not gonna go for it. So if you cheat on somebody and you marry somebody with a Venus in Cancer, just know, get in the marriage and know that you better not ever cheat, because if you do, it's gonna be a lot of problems within that marriage. Okay. And if they find out that you are giving your love and affection and your romance to somebody else other than them, and they have this placement, you're going to have a lot of problems in the marriage. So why waste your time getting with somebody who's emotionally needy and you're not even that type of person to provide that comfort and support to your partner? Don't waste nobody time. Just don't put no ring on it. Date and move on. Okay? So anyway, if you have Venus, guys, Venus in the sign of Leo. Leo, I love my Leos. But know that Leo is the type of person, guys, please work with me here, but we all know that Leo is about vanity. Not all Leos, though, but Leo is about vanity. Okay. Leo they like attention, okay, from their partners. Okay. They don't like fluff, they like it real. Okay. And if you don't like support your Leo, if you don't give them the attention, then they're probably going to seek validation somewhere else. So understand, I'm not talking about the sun sign Leo. Sun sign Leo is like that too. But definitely, if they have Venus in Leo, know that the person with Venus in Leo is going to be all about vanity. Okay. If you don't give them the attention that they need, they're going to seek validation somewhere else. Okay. Know that if a person has Venus and Leo, it's going to be all about style and appearance and also family background. So this person is going to be interested in candlelight dinners and romance. It's going to be very, very important that you consistently do this throughout the marriage. This is not something that you do in the beginning. You put a ring on it, you walk down the bloody carpet, and then once you get home, it's like you're turning your back. You're not giving this Venus and Leo attention. You're not supporting them when they want to go out there and buy a Bentley and they want to buy like fucking sweatpants for like $400 and like sneakers for 1,000. They're not gonna relate to you if you're not gonna support this lifestyle, because the Venus and Leo, this is important for them to look good, to feel good, and for people to tell them how good they look. Okay, so know if you're with a Venus and Leo, there's a good chance that we're dealing with Instagram right now. We don't know what we're going to be dealing with later on in life, but right now we're dealing with Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and all that. So know that you're going to have a partner that's most likely going to have an Instagram page and they're going to have a lot of followers. Okay. They're going to have a lot of people that admire them. And you have to be secure enough to believe that they're not going to cheat on you. Okay. And they're just doing this because it's self gratification. Okay. And if you're not the type to be okay with your partner wanting to get attention not only from you but from others, know that you're going to have some problems in the marriage. Okay. Um yeah, so, and I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. So if you have Venus, guys, in Sagittarius or Pisces, guys, listen to me. I did a video on this. I didn't do Venus in Sagittarius, but I did it on Venus and Pisces. Know that this person is going to be interested in beauty everywhere they go. They're going to be interested in people who are beautiful. Okay, they're going to want their environment to be beautiful. They're going to they're probably most likely going to try to bring the beauty out of people too. Okay, if this person has Venus in Sagittarius, and again, Venus in Pisces, this person is going to want freedom, guys. They're not going to want to be locked down in this marriage where, you're clocking them and you're saying, what? Okay, go ahead, take it. But be careful because I don't want you to disconnect. Go ahead. And please close my door. I don't want to talk to you right now. Just close my door. But yeah, all these disturbances. It's funny how, when you get on the phone, everybody and their grandmother wants to fucking ask you like 1,000 questions. But when you're not on the phone or you're not doing shit, nobody comes around. But as soon as you're doing something, everybody is knocking and shuffling and crying and wanting your attention. So anyway, yeah, so if you have Venus in Sagittarius, guys, or Venus in Pisces, know that beauty is going to be everything for them. Okay, they're probably going to be into beauty themselves. They're going to want freedom. They're going to want flexibility. They're going to want a partner that's going to adjust to their rhythm and not be rigid and stuck in their ways and feel the need to lock them down. So if you're trying to get with a person who has Venus in Sagittarius or Venus in Pisces and you guys want to get married to this person, please, if you want a happy marriage, guys, try your best, you know, not to try to control this person. Let them free like a bird and know that they're going to come back. Okay. If you let somebody go, okay, and they don't come back, maybe it wasn't meant to be, but if you let them go and they come back, then it's probably meant to be, and just know that that's how that person is. Okay, don't put them in a situation where they feel like a bird in a cage, and their arms can reach out through the bars, but for whatever reason they feel trapped. This person does not want to be trapped in a relationship. Also, let me tell you another thing too, guys. If this person has Venus in Sagittarius, and especially Venus in Pisces, and they have other aspects in their chart that does support marriage, then yeah, they might be faithful. But I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it 1,000, guys, that this person, with Venus and Pisces, there's a good chance that they're gonna cheat. Okay, they're probably gonna want to have more than one person in the relationship. Okay, they'll probably be married to you and love you dearly, but for whatever reason they'll probably have somebody else that they're in love with, and they'll feel like you should adjust, and they just want to spread their love to everybody. So there's a good chance that a Venus in Sagittarius or a Venus in Pisces person will probably be interested in polygamy. Okay, and if you're not down with polygamy, and I don't even think I have time to talk about it. Hopefully, I'll come back, and hopefully, you guys, whoever's into the polygamy stuff, hopefully, send me an email, guys. I'll send you a link, and we can get on this mic together, and we could talk about this polygamy stuff, and tell us the benefits and the downside of it. But there's a good chance that this person would be interested in a polygamous lifestyle. Okay, and if you marry somebody who's into polygamy and you're not, and you're looking at a marriage that you're stuck in for about 10 years, know that, either they're going to cheat, or they're probably going to come to you and talk about, introducing another partner in the relationship, and then you're going to feel insulted. And then before you know it, you're knocking on the divorce court's door, and you're ready to divorce this person and be done with it, because this person didn't tell you this in the beginning. They told you this shit at the end, okay? And then at the end, they want you to adjust your lifestyle to their lifestyle, and we're dealing with a problem here. So I'm probably not going to stay too long. I have somebody who's on their way, so as soon as they get here, I'm gonna, have to shut things down. But I'll just go ahead and continue. So yeah, so let me read the chat. Says, oh, Treasure, I'm a life path number 5. Structure helps me. Treasure, you're life path number 5. You know what? I said that my next video that I was going to do was going to be on life path number 5. So look out for that video. And once again, if you hear anything that's, a little bit crazy, whatever, please don't hate me. I just, want to know so much about these life path numbers, and I want to hear the good and the bad. So that should be my upcoming video, is life path number 5. So really quickly, guys, and I'm probably gonna have to end it. Another aspect in the chart that you want to look out for if you are interested in getting married, guys. If you're dating, it's no biggie. But if you're ready to sign your name on the dotted line and put a ring on it, Mars is also important when it comes down to marriage. Also, you want to look at the house placements. If you have Mars, let's say, for example, in the first house, second, fourth, 7, 8, and 12, and it's afflicted, guys. I talked about the afflictions. Know that Mars in these houses will bring issues in in the relationship, okay? Especially if this person has Mars in the 7th or 8th. If you have Mars in the 7th yourself, or Mars in the 8th house, just know that you might come across relationships in your life, okay, that will most likely, it will probably be traumatic, okay? And you're probably going to be dealing with a lot of drama that unfortunately will experience some type of ending, or unfortunately some type of death. If you have Mars in the seventh or Mars in the eighth, you might, marry somebody and then they might die. You know what I mean? Or if you have Mars in the seventh or Mars in the eighth, you might not necessarily deal with a death, but there's a good chance if you hook up with somebody and you don't get to know that person real well and they don't really energetically mix with you, then you could be dealing with a situation where you're dealing with a divorce. And are you ready for that? Would you want to experience something like that? Because as far as I know, a divorce is like a death. If you have Mars in Gemini, know that either your partner, if they have it, or if you have it, that you might deal with a situation where your partner is unstable, or you might even be unstable, in the relationship. And then now you're dealing with a situation where you're dealing with a divorce, or you're dealing with stresses and strife in a marriage, that the issues are so heavy that you're ready to just end it. Because remember, Gemini, that's another energy where they want to be around a lot of people, they want to communicate with a lot of people, they might be flirtatious, and you have to be a strong person to deal with something like that. Not everybody can deal with that. There's certain signs out there, they're jealous, okay, and they're not going to want to share their partner. They're not going to sit back and be okay with their partner flirting in front of them, okay, and just being cool with it. They're not going to be cool with it. They're not going to want to help you out if you playing them in their face. They're not going to go for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it, guys. I'm right near the end, right near the end. But if you have Mars in the second, or if you have a partner that has Mars in the second, know that there's a good chance that this person, is most likely, they're probably gonna have some wealth or some money hidden that you don't know about, but there's a good chance that you're going to be dealing with this person and their family. Okay. And we all know, if you're married already, if you've ever been married, or if you're in a relationship right now and you love your spouse to death, you love your boyfriend, your girlfriend to death, you can't, do anything without them. But for whatever reason, their family is always involved. Okay. Their family's always whispering in their ear, telling them what the fuck to do. Okay. And then you're going to be dealing with a situation where you're constantly going to be battling with your partner and fighting, with your partner, because their family doesn't know how to stay in their place. Okay. Also, you might be dealing with that energy too if you have Mars in the fourth house, or if your partner has Mars in the fourth house, seventh house, 10th house, and 11th house too. You might also be dealing with, family issues. The sister is always involved, the brother is always involved, the mother's always in the house. She wants you to build a house in the backyard. She's always around. That's another thing too, guys. When you get married, you got to understand, you're not marrying the person only. You're marrying this person and their family, because their family is going to be involved. So if you don't get along with his mother, it's going to be a problem at some point, especially if you're dealing with a mama's boy, or you're dealing with a man who really respects his mother and he takes his mother's word. It doesn't matter how much he loves you. If his mother is involved, then you could be dealing with a situation that will lead you to divorce court or a separation, because there's too much family involvement. So be prepared if you have Mars in fourth house, or if you're marrying somebody with Mars in the fourth, seventh, and the 10th house. Also, 10th house, it deals with a lot of karma. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it real quick, guys. Really quickly, just wrapping things up. Also, another important thing to look at, if your partner, even yourself, if you have seventh house, Seventh house is very important. If you are about to marry somebody and they don't have any placements in the seventh house and you do, there's a good chance that, you know, there's a good chance that you're gonna it's gonna be some type of karmic connection, and your partner may not be serious about the marriage, but you are. Okay, because you have placements in the seventh house, but your partner has no energy in the seventh house. So for whatever reason, you came on this planet, on this earth plane, to experience marriage, to experience a partnership that can last for maybe a decade or more. Okay, but if you have planets like Mars in the seventh house, unfortunately, guys, Saturn in the seventh house, that excuse me, you may deal with some issues like domestic violence, or you may be dealing with some type of emotional abuse that will, give you a hard time throughout the marriage, unfortunately. So again, those who have Mars in the seventh, you definitely want to make sure that you thoroughly check your partner out. Okay, mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually, by going through the chart, because you don't want to hook up with somebody. For example, if you have Mars in the seventh, you don't want to hook up blindly with somebody, for example, that has Venus in Aries or Mars in Scorpio, or energy like that, because karmically you may experience, if you're a woman, a husband who's aggressive and he's abusive, and it could become scary. So guys, please, for the love of God, before you go down that red carpet, okay, and you think everything is gravy when you walk back down, if you're dealing with a man who is nice and he's loving in the beginning, know that these people, they have two sides of them. Okay, they have the good and they have the bad. The bad they usually suppress. They don't want you to see that shit until it's too fucking late, and then you're like a bird in a cage. You can't get the fuck out because he has the key and you're stuck. Or you're dealing with a man who's so aggressive that you're afraid to leave. Okay, please check these people out before you get with them. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about that really quickly, hopefully before I wrap that up, Sarah, because yeah, I wondered about that too, and I did talk to I had a little discussion with Treasure and Huey when I did the show with them recently about how I thought it was kind of weird that that happened. So hopefully I could talk about that really quickly, but I'll go ahead and finish this. But if you have Mars in the eighth house, guys, Mars in the eighth house, it's great. It's a great place, but it comes with its challenges. There's a good chance that, you will have an everlasting marriage. You'll probably be married for a long time, but you're going to experience some joy, of course. But at the same time, you might be dealing with some issues of sadness, or incidences in your life that, is not on the up and up. And you may have issues in the marriage that are extreme, to the point where it overrides the happiness that you shared in the beginning. So you may find that, if you have Mars in the eighth house, you may find that the marriage at times makes you feel depressed. You suffer from anxiety, or you may be dealing with a situation where you're married to this guy. He's a great guy and everything, but for whatever reason, he's lazy, or he doesn't have like a lot of ambition. And then as a result, you're dealing with a situation where you're not financially stable. And then, everything else is perfect, but for whatever reason, financially, things are not on the up and up. So, guys, make sure that, if there's certain things that you want from a person, you know, try your best, because, people, they say one thing and then when you get with them, it's another, you know. Try your best to get with somebody who's on the level, because if they're not on the level, then you're going to be fighting to get them to a level, and then by the time you get them on the level, another thing I've noticed too about people, Sometimes they'll come into a marriage with you or come into a relationship with you, and you'll build that person up very high to the sky. And then once they get to a certain point in their life, they're ready to drop you. You don't never want to deal with that if you have Mars in the eighth. You know what I mean? Last, guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Um, if you have Mars in the 12th house, or if your partner has Mars in the 12th, this person is going to, be a happy person, but they're going to like to travel. They're going to like to relax. They're going to like to enjoy the luxuries of life. And they're going to want to indulge in that. So, again, these are the types of people that want to buy the 550 Benz, guys. They want to buy that 550 Benz. They want to get that Tesla. They want to live good. If you're not the type, if you're modest and you're simple, it might be a challenge. If you're dealing with somebody who has Mars in the 12th, they might not be that sympathetic. And if they get with somebody who has Venus in Cancer, that always needs to be, reassured that their partner loves them even after being with them for like 100 years and marrying them like 20 times, then this could be a challenge. So it looks like somebody just rolled up and let's see. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. But let me see. Let's see real quick. Just wait. You know what? Give me a second, guys. Let me just go out there real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to wrap it up, but I'll go ahead and address some of these questions in the chat. Yeah, so yeah, so Treasure, I should be posting that Life Path number 5 video coming up soon. Thank you again for your support. Um, yeah, I feel a little bit happy today, trying to keep my spirits up high during this unfortunate time. Thanks for that. Sarah, it says, let me ask you this. Why do you think the illness is present now, as in after you left? Whew, Sarah, man, you know what? And I talked to Huey and Treasure and I talked to them briefly about that. And I think this is, going back to the videos that I posted in the past about the spiritual exchange. Um, and I was expressing it and I was talking about it. And I guess I now believe in it, because it's weird because it's like as soon as I cut that spiritual cord and as soon as I stopped feeding into the negative energy, and I gain control of who I am inside, I don't know, it's like something happened. And it's weird because it's like as soon as I decided to leave, I don't know, it's like something happened, you know, something happened. And it's so crazy because I did post a video. I think I have it in private. It's a video called Karma. And I was saying that, I'm not saying that he's a vampire or, anything like that, but when you're dealing with people who are how should I say this? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But, sometimes, when you're dealing with people who are negative, okay, for whatever reason, it's like the more that they see you go down, the more that they go up. For whatever reason, I don't know why it is like that spiritually, but it's like a bully. Like the more that they see you cry and you fold up in a corner, it's like the more powerful they are psychologically. But that person who is in the corner rolled up and they feel defeated, once they rise up to that bully and they face that bully and they realize, you know what, this bully is all talk and not walk, and they use their strength and they fight the bully. It's like, they do the exchange with the bully, and now the bully has fell on the floor and now they have gained the strength. So I don't know if that was a good example, but it's like that spiritually, where somebody is fluxing all their negative energy on you and you don't really know the power that you have within. And, once you discover that power that you have within, and then you're able to come out and defend yourself finally, and you face this person, it's like there's some type of spiritual exchange that happens where you're no longer defeated by that negativity. Okay. And yeah, so let's see. And you need to do more lives. Yeah, intuitive. Hey, I I hope I can, man. I had to squeeze this in, man, because if I continue to do what I've been doing every day, which is, I mean, I go to the hospital, guys. Like it's a full-time job for me. Like I didn't go to the hospital yet today, but usually I'm at the hospital 3 times a day. Okay. Yesterday, I was at the hospital 4 times. I mean, because I go there in the morning. First, I go to the gym. Then, after the gym, I go to the hospital. And then I come back and I check on my kids. And then I go back to the hospital. And then I come home, I make dinner. And then I get them situated. Then I go back to the hospital. So I'm always at the hospital. I mean, if I had a job, I would have gotten fired by now because that's my job, going back and forth to the hospital because I'm supporting him. Another thing I wanted to say too, with this whole marriage thing, this cheating thing and all that, I find it so funny that when I was disrespected to the maximum. I mean, for those who've been with me for some time and you've heard me cry and you heard me complain and you heard me go through this emotional roller coaster 2 years ago, guys, you heard me. For those who probably, I know there's some people on here that they never really reveal who they are, but they probably know my story better than I do. It's funny how all of those people that I was disrespected for, none of those people are around. None of them. None of those bitches, none of those mistresses, nobody's to be found. And I wish they would come around so they can relieve some of my time so I could do what I have to do, but nobody's around. Also, another thing too that I found so funny because I was talking to a relative yesterday, and I told them, I've been telling them that, it was near a death experience last Saturday, and that situation where he almost died in the home. Can you come down and not support me if you don't fucking like me? That's fine, but could you support your brother, your uncle, your cousin? Could you support because yo, remember I left like fucking over a month ago. So really and truly, like I'm not even supposed to be here. You know what I mean? I moved on already. spiritually. Physically, I did that too, and mentally, I was gone. But I came back more realistically because I realized that if it was me in his shoes, that I would want somebody to be there for me. And I just find it so funny is that all those people that he was going against me with, none of those motherfuckers are around. You know what I mean? None of those bitches are around. None of those friends that he was partying with, none of them are around. And yesterday when I talked to the family and they was like, "Oh, but he's so popular and a lot of people know him." Yeah, that's true cuz my husband is an extroverted person, okay? A lot of people know him and he's popular. But what the fuck does that popularity have to do with it now? Because guess what? He's so popular, but the only ones who's going in and out that hospital is me and the kids. None of those friends, all that popularity, all that fame, and all that fluff, it don't seem to be around now when you need them the most. Okay. So I thought that was pretty weird and fucked up. All that extroversion shit is nothing but an illusion because when the going gets tough, the tough gets going and ain't nobody gonna be around but those people that really love and care about you. And usually, unfortunately, spiritually, when you're dealing with negative energy and people are not on the level and they're not realizing what real life is like, they're faced with reality and they're like, oh shit, the people that I dissed and disrespected the most, guess what? They're the ones that's there for me. Nobody fucking else. The party's not around, so nobody's around. And another thing I said yesterday too, I find it funny, he's so popular, right? He's so popular, you said. But it's funny how people only gather when the party is there. When the party is around, everybody's gathering. Or God forbid, if it's a funeral, that's when you see everybody gathering talking about how popular the person is. No, don't come around when I'm in the ground. Come around when I'm standing. Come around when I need you the most, not when I'm gone. Okay. And you're talking about this, that, and a third. Support me now because this is the energy that I need now. When you're sick, when you're in jail, when you're in the hospital, when you're in a situation where you're on the fucking ground, you're on your belly in life, okay, and you're drowning in life, that's when you need people the most. You need their energy around you to support you, to lift you up spiritually so you can get back on the level physically. And it's like nobody's fucking around. And it's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm gonna get ahead and get out of here. Yeah, so Treasure says bullies thrive on us being their emotional receptacle until we decide to purge and close our garbage lid. That's right. Yes, Treasure, it's crazy, man. I swear to God, man, if I was like a really evil bitch, like I would be like, fuck that. I'm not coming back around, man. You know what you did to me? Like you don't, but yo, the karma is crazy. I mean, I wish I could show you pictures, guys, of the before and the after. It's wild. Like I just got a picture today, and I'm like, whoa, whoa. Wait, hold on for a second. Hold on. Yeah, so like I was saying, guys, the karma, yo, yo. I believed in karma. I've always believed in karma, but I've never actually witnessed the shit. And I'm telling you, like, I wanted revenge, but the revenge that I wanted is nothing, nothing compared to, I guess if you believe in God, it's nothing compared to what God had in store. I can't beat this. This is on a whole nother level, a whole nother spiritual level that none of us was prepared. No, please don't do that. I'm on because you please hold on for a minute, guys. Just wait. But anyway, yeah, so I mean, it's crazy. And after going through this experience, it just makes me a little bit more conscious now, um, and more aware of my ways and actions, you know what I mean? Because I realize that karma is real, and It's really nothing to play with, and I'm definitely not gonna, disrespect people going forward. I'm really afraid to do that because you just never know when you're gonna need people the most. You never know who's gonna be there for you. You know what I mean? And the people that you diss are usually the ones that is gonna be there. The people that you fluff and you puff and you throw your ass around for them, they're not there when the going gets tough. So I guess the last message that I'm reading here, Mr. 36, it says marriage can easily become a scam. I'm young and never been married, so I can't say much. I feel marriage should be looked at as mental spiritual connection rather than a court document. 100% I agree with you, Mr. 36. Marriage, to some, it can be a scam. Okay. If you're dealing with a situation where you want to get married to, get money or for citizenship, in a situation like that, yeah, it can be a scam. But most people that I know, including myself, when you get married, you're not getting married because you're running a scam on somebody. You're marrying somebody because you genuinely love them in the beginning. And you felt in your heart, your body, and your soul that you were going to be there for this person regardless. Hold on for a second. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to like to chop it down, but basically, people they get married because they generally just want to be with that person. Okay, they're like, you know what? In my heart, in my life, in my soul, I feel like you're the one. And life is like a box of chocolate. That's what they say. So it's so many different surprises and things that we could do together as a team, and we can build empires together. We could win at this, if we're both on the level. And usually that's why people get married. But we're dealing with a fake life. People are so fake and phony these days. You can't trust. Everybody's with the facades. You don't know what you're getting anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it, guys. As much as I really want to stay, I got somebody at my door, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I thank those who held me down, guys. Thank you so much, and hopefully the next time I get on, you guys can join me, and we can talk about some things. So I'm coming outside. Okay, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and make a payment, guys. So I'm gonna head and wrap it up. But I thank you guys. I really enjoyed this, and please join me again. Hopefully, I'll be back soon. Later.